Level 87, Witness to the Spectacle. Vana is musing over your recent findings. At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis and the Entelekis, which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone studying them in any depth, except for Hermes, it seems. Thus, I am inclined to stay our current course and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Mateon, aside from her unorthodox method of communication? There are more like her. She has sisters. She and her sisters were created to journey to the stars and search for intelligent life. Rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? So these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning. Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unresolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Peripetia Crystalline. Not far from here, just follow the path to the west. Get up there. Well, this looks like I could go up it. I guess I gotta go around. This tower and the one further along are both part of Peripetia Crystalline, the facility where they archive all of Elpis's observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interior is actually a vast area of magically interconnected spaces, which, while fascinating, is not the reason we are here, is it? Oh, it's bigger on the inside? I shall cut my architectural lessons short and see what those two archivists have to share. If you can find someone to speak with over at the other tower, I shall join you there anon. Mm-hmm. You have questions for me? Certainly. Just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Indeed, so if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviors, we should then have sufficient data for our official records. Now, what was it you wished to speak with me about? Chief Overseer's personal research project, and by that I assume you mean Meteon? Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes past without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. Afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Meteon appeared, only that she now spends much of her time at Chief Hermes' side. Although I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Galeen shared with me. Galeen is my partner and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. He was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes sending Meteon heavensward, a host of them. Several days she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she had ever witnessed. Sounds like a story I should like to hear. Mistress Vana, I thought you had already returned to the surface. Permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept placement proposal. Pray do not mention it. As you say, my original plan was to leave after that task, but I have since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. You favor me with a retelling of this sight which so delighted your Galeen? Of course, or you could hear it from her lips directly if you prefer. At present, she should be observing a subject in Metabasis Thalassai. She does enjoy her time there watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans, recreated in such sublime detail. I imagine you must find similar joy in indulging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Vanna, even though such pursuits must continually and regretfully delay your return to the star. Indeed they do. His arrest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How greatly have we prospered for the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as a Z. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed served as the basis of many techniques still in use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embody that nature with as much enduring passion as you. I dare say there is not a soul alive more worthy of a return. I shall rejoice the day you depart on your final journey. I will be honored. Yes, I can't wait for you to die. Well, shall we take this opportunity to meet with Galeen in person? Then allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the Skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground. That would be most helpful, thank you. Petua Archive. Have opened the path to the Skyway. Once you pass through the door, simply walk straight across to the next tower and ask for admittance to the upper tier. On arriving at the upper tier, walk straight across the Skyway and you will find yourself at the entrance to Metabasios Thalassar. Aline will be eager to share her tale with you, I am sure. Mistress Vanna, just passing through, and allow me to prepare the path. If you need further assistance, there is always an observer or two out on the upper Skyway. Mistress Vanna, I was not told to expect we would have prepared an official welcome. Please, there is no need for fanfare. I only wish to speak with Galeen, if that might be arranged. Yes, Galeen, of course. I will inform her immediately. Ah, but she may be engaged in a testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Should I let her know your business is urgent? It won't be necessary. This lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us.
A delightful breeze and a breathtaking view. What is it like in the future? Is the world still a beautiful place?
Beautiful as ever. Some parts, yes, others not so much. More beautiful here.
I swear I could hear the glimmer in your eyes and the adoration in your voice. While we wait, will you not tell me about your adventures? Well, not the portentous events which led you here, but the simple delights all your own. By learning about the future world, I may gain insight into future me's plans. But more than that, I have an interest simply as a fellow traveler. Short of going somewhere oneself, There's naught more stirring than hearing another's account. Incredible. Would that I could have been there to see it. Yours is a harsh and unforgiving world. Yet in spite of this, your brethren hold fast to their virtue. To know that the light of mankind's potential still shines, even in that faraway place, it gives me heart. Thank you for regaling me with your tales. I will treasure every word. As you know, I was once a scholar. And among other things, I sought to understand the workings of the world. What exactly is ether? How formed the laws of nature? Whence sprung mankind? Riddles and mysteries beyond counting. Over the years, I have managed to find answers to some few of them. Yet rather than attain a sense of mastery, the more I understood, the more I came to hold the world and its miracles in awe. We too are miracles, each and every one of us, born of the warm breath of life that traverses the heavens, swirling through eternity. When I fully grasped the improbability of our existence, nothing felt impossible anymore. If it could be imagined, it could be done. A passion swelled within me, an epiphany dispelling all preconceptions of what was natural and true, and a presence without, immense yet intimate, fate perhaps, holding us in its tender embrace. As reassuring as it was intimidating, how keenly aware I became of creation's fragility, built as it is upon precarious happenstance. I was overcome with an irrepressible urge to know the world more intimately, to hear its voice, feel its breath.
Hear, feel, think.
I ventured forth on a journey that very day, so very long ago now. Freed from presumption and prejudice, I saw the world through a newborn's eyes. Everything fresh and new, and so beautiful. Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning, and my purpose, my love. And so long as they need help, I cannot return to the star. Perhaps my future self is still waiting for it. The moment she can let go and walk unto the end. Safe in the knowledge that man will find his own way. You, who are our future, tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
Pray forgive my lateness. My observation subject was rather irritable, and it took a while to settle it down.
No need to apologize. Your work takes precedence. Besides, we had a pleasant conversation in the meantime.
You're too kind. Now then, I'm told you wished to ask me some questions.
Indeed. I've an interest in one of Hermes' creations. Meteon. You witnessed a host of them take flight, yes?
Oh, that! Yes, yes, I did. 'Twas in the dark of the morn. I'd left the Thalassai after nocturnal observation. As I walked along, I spied a bright light climbing high into the southeastern skies. Then, in an instant, it was gone, like a shooting star, only rising rather than falling. But then another shot up, then another, and another. Intrigued, I made my way to the edge to investigate. And who should I spy on an isle to the south but Hermes and Meteon, the Matea, rather. There were lots of them, and I realized they must be the shooting stars that I'd seen.
A dazzling spectacle indeed. Have you spoken with Hermes about this?
Oh, yes. The sight left such an impression on me that I approached him about his mystery project the very next day. Alas, he said that he couldn't reveal anything just yet, that he needed to conduct further tests. It shouldn't be long now, though. He often returns to that isle, and I have a feeling he's nearing a breakthrough.
I learned something.
Splendid. We are likewise eager for the details. Well, that is all we wish to ask. Thank you for taking the time to indulge our curiosity.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with other inquisitive souls. Oh, and will you be descending now? If so, I shall link the doors for you.
Please.
So another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what we've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others. It suggests that either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. We have no reason yet to suspect the former. We should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under that assumption, our next step should be to divine why or even if he might desire such a terrible fate for our star. Level 87, Witness to the Spectacle, complete. Level 87, Worthy of his back. Banat has a new course of investigation in mind. I should like to visit the site from which Hermes sent forth the Matea. If we are fortunate, we might find some hint of what drives this research of his. Colleen said she spotted them in the southeast, rising from an isle she could see from the edge. If we stand at that same vantage point, it should not prove too difficult to locate the isle in question. Let's take a look, shall we? Yeah, if I were conducting some mystery research, where would I go? Ah, what about that? You the means to fly? 'Tis quite a distance away. Inconvenient, but hardly an insurmountable problem. Me, Argos. My friend, would you mind creating a double to carry Zilly here over to that island? Stubborn creature, there is no place on this greatest star that we have not together traveled, and he remains obstinate in the presence of strength. Argos has rather exacting standards, I'm afraid. What? You've ridden him before? Ah, your before meaning my after. Not at all confusing, that. Interesting, 'tis certainly not unthinkable. But speaking of the here and now, the quick solution is for us to face off in a sparring match. Demonstrate to him that you are capable of holding your own against me in battle, and you should convince Argos that you are worthy of his back. Besides, I might even teach you a thing or two into the bargain. You seem doubtful, but useful lesson or not, it will certainly be a moment to remember, a memory of the distant past to cherish. What say you, traveler out of time? Choose your battlefield. I will do what I must. And if this memory turns out to be a bad one, had a feeling you might say something like that. Know that you must give a good showing, however. Clear your mind and prepare your weapons. I will await you at the clearing over yonder. Shall we begin? Be warned, I'll not go easy on you. Duty calls. Commence battle for worthy of his back. Level sync is in effect. If you're above the maximum allowed level, will be synced as follows. Level 88. Proceed.
Let neither side hold back. My blade sings!
This is gonna be one of those where we don't have to like knock her down to it.
My blade sings! Impressive. I shall have to try something different. no quarter. Have a taste.
That's not good.
I see you won't be easily overcome, but neither will I. Prepare yourself!
Laggy.
We've only just begun. Come at me with your all. Very well. Let us move to the final trial.
See those. It's so many. I didn't get that one.
chains, shed your burdens, and show me your strength of will!
This is going to be an active time event. QTE. Guess not.
You still stand. The people of your time are more resilient than I had dared hope. I have seen enough.
Yay, we passed. 3 complete.
Twas my intent to finish it, but clearly I underestimated you. One would think I never learn. I made the same mistake with Azem when we first sparred. Despite being less than half my age, her strength was astounding. As is yours. 'Tis plain you have weathered considerable hardship. Far more even than your tales would suggest. It seems we have both learned much on our journeys.
Hey, doggo.
Well now, I dare say he has warmed to you. A boon to be sure. He never forgets his favorites, and is ever eager to come to their aid.
Back. Argos will soon have us standing on the very spot where Matea made their departure into the night sky. With luck, we will learn something of Hermes' intentions. My hope is that we find no connection, no festering wish for oblivion. Then we might have Hermes and his considerable expertise working for us rather than against us. Level 87, worthy of his back. Complete. Level 87, a flower upon your return. Vanat has Argos in his double at heel. Let us move over to the edge before mounting, shall we? We'll allow Argos to catch the currents rising up from below and give us a smooth ride over to the isle. Ether current. Argos motions to his back with his muzzle. You've been given a go-ahead to hop on. Ride Argos to the isle. Yes. Isn't this pleasant? Argos certainly seems to think so. Now, what was the name of that tree? No, something. Notophorion. Quite striking specimen, is it not? Brace yourself for the landing. I wouldn't want you tumbling off at the last moment.
Quite a small place, lacking even the most basic equipment. The present may yield no clues, but we may yet try perusing the past. Have you done this before?
The Echo.
So you cannot control the power freely. Worry not. I shall assist you. Come and stand before me. There are two ways to see the past. The first entails peering through the walls of the soul in the moment a subject is recalling a memory. The second requires no subject, and is instead a process of piecing together an event from ripples left in the ambient ether. As memories are etched upon the ether of the soul, so too are they etched upon the ether of the world. In this way can history be preserved. Such memories are given to fading, however, and can prove challenging to visit. But come, let us try. Close your eyes.
Echo.
All units fully functional and proceeding on course towards their respective stars. Estimated time to completion of survey is 108 cycles. End of status report. Severing connection with shared consciousness. Did you hear that, Hermes? All is well.
Yes. Good tidings at long last. Every step of the way, I've been reminded how little we understand creation. How the universe defies imagination.
But soon we won't need to speculate. We'll know the answers. What others live for.
Indeed. And we'll owe it all to you and your sisters.
I wonder what answers we will get.
Whatever intelligent beings that exist out there are bound to be vastly different from us. Diverse in form and culture, possessed of unique ways of thinking. Their conception of life and its purpose will be no exception. Completely and utterly unlike ours.
Utterly unlike... how?
I have no idea. Yet whatever answers we receive, I will not dismiss them out of hand. No, I will think earnestly on them all, and I will share them with our people, that together we may contemplate our own existence. Perhaps then our star will become a better place, not only for man, but for all life. Meteon, though I gave you wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet, learn to walk and run and so much more. And when you return, older and wiser, we will have a celebration to mark your homecoming and coming of age both.
Will there be apples? Covered in syrup?
And how are you supposed to eat them? Rather than food, perhaps a flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower.
So, what is your opinion?
Hermes wouldn't wish for the final days. Hermes is a gentle soul, and yet couldn't say just by this moment alone.
I understand. He is a gentle soul, and well-intentioned. Yet it does not take ill intent to beget ill. We must consider the possibility that something may have gone awry. Perhaps it was oversight, or simply an accident. In light of this, I propose that we reveal your tale to Hermes himself. If he does not wish for the final days, as we believe, he may well join us in pursuing a solution. Then it is settled. Let us seek out our friend with all swiftness. 'Twould not do to let such a pure soul be blackened by tragedy.
There are any number of places where Hermes might be in Elpis. But we could do worse than to look in Catesis Hyperborea, the largest facility. It stands in Ethos Boreas, the Northern Isle. I wonder, for an institution which claims to studiously research every species destined for release into the world, did you not question how they find room for them all on so few islands? The answer lies within Catesis itself. Touched upon the practice before back at the archives, where a vast area is stitched together out of multiple conceptual spaces. The same holds true for the interior of this facility and its magically constructed environs. It is there within those sprawling habitats that the chief overseer and most of Elpis's observers conduct the bulk of their work. The simplest route is via the Neas north of Boetano Oikos. Appears to be the teleporter Vanat told you about. Boats of light yet hang in the air, suggesting the device was but recently activated. See to Ethos Electectius Boreas. Ah, good. The Neas acknowledged you as my guest. You should now have the authority to use it as you wish. As for the way to Catesis Hyperborea, we follow this path and turn left at the crossroads. Here. Location. Here we are, the grandest research facility in Elpis. Should head inside and ask after Hermes' whereabouts. Hermes is at another facility, as we have just discovered. Furthermore, we've confirmed that his studies into Dynamis, as well as his creation of Meteon, were entirely private pursuits. No one else we spoke with appeared to possess the chief's depth of knowledge on the subject, and neither did we hear any tales of stolen research. Which means that if Hermes himself harbors no desire to bring down an apocalypse, then he might be recruited to help prevent one. Or so saith the illustrious M itself. According to your story, the 14 divined the connection between the celestial currents and the final days, but were never able to pinpoint the root cause of the calamity. With our people's greatest minds, not to mention Hythlodaeus' sharp eyes, committed to the pursuit of a solution, such an outcome seems inconceivable. The only possible explanation is if the nature of the catalyst was so inexplicable that even if we failed to perceive it, okay. And what better fits that description than the invisible and tangible dynamis? Which in turn leads us to our next question. How did Hermes, in his role as Fandaniel, not recognize the subject of his own research? We must assume that he either knew and was unable to help, or that he was otherwise prevented from identifying the cause in the first place. At this juncture, all we can do is speculate. To be clear, the Convocation does not tolerate acts of deception or malice. We are practiced at perceiving truth and would have known if had Fandaniel lied to us. Hermes has no conscious wish for the world to end, of that I am certain. It seems there is more to the tale after all. We conducted an investigation of our own, you see. How comforting. We seem to have reached the exact same conclusion. I see no reason to delay further. 'Tis time we brought Hermes into the fold, as it were. Thank you for your understanding. Save your thanks. I did not say I believed your ridiculous story. But as Emmett Selk, I have a duty to examine any potential threat to our existence, no matter how ludicrous or personally offensive I might find it. Level 87, a flower upon your return, complete. He doesn't really change, does he? Level 87, Hunger in the Garden. Hythlodaeus is eager to find Hermes. I think the time for leisurely exploration is past. If I might have a moment to adjust my vision. There he is, on the next aisle over. Meteon is with him. Hermes appears to be in the midst of an observational study, but I suggest we hurry over before they venture elsewhere. Head straight down the path. We can teleport to Mesopsis Euros from the device at the bottom of the slope. This appears to be the teleporter to Mesopsis Euros. Proceed to Mesopsis Euros. They are close by, within the Hungering Gardens. That would be the circular enclosure you see just up ahead. Well then, make yourself useful and bring Hermes out here to us. If I were to go, he would assume I was only there to press him on the Fandaniel matter. Of all of us present, you stand the best chance at convincing him to put aside his work for the moment. But the creations in there are not exactly... Then again, perhaps Zilla can handle them. She did survive a bout with Vana, after all. Off you go to find Hermes, but do be prepared to come to blows with the garden's denizen. many of them do I have to kill? In the area. Where else do I have to go? Guess I gotta kill a few more. Yep, something. All around this thing. Where the hell is he? Or do I just have to kill a certain number of them? There he is. I'm just gonna have to keep killing him until I go talk to him. Tilly, what are you doing here? I thought you were keeping Hythloday as an MSQ company. An important matter and unrelated to my decision on Fandaniel, you say? Then yes, I will come as soon as my work here is finished. It will not be long, I promise, but you should really wait outside the garden with the others. This is no place for idle exploration. Yeah, I thought I had to kill a bunch of them, but it turns out I think I just had to find him. It was kind of a waste. It's You spoke with Hermes then? And were briefly entangled with the denizens of the Hungering Gardens as well. I see, or should I say, smell. Cannot speak for certain convocation members, but I, for one, am impressed with your fortitude. Well done indeed. Now that you've convinced Hermes to confer with us, let us pray that things will soon take a turn for the better. For as fascinating as it would be to meet the Emet-Selk who would recreate Almarat in the depths of the ocean, I think it best for all concerned if such tragic events never came to pass. Be it in our future or your past, assuming yours is not truly written in stone, naive hope that is. Level 87, Hunger in the Garden, complete. Level 87, Words Without Sound. Emet-Selk seems content to stay where he is. Hermes said he would not be long, yes, then we shall wait here until he emerges.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. I understand there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Aye, a matter of the utmost gravity, if one can suspend disbelief. Go on then. Tell him what you told us, who you are, and why you came.
The final days.
The phenomena observed during these star-encompassing calamities is likely the product of a dynamis reaction. And none is more versed in the applications of this energy than you, Hermes. I must stress that we do not believe you would desire such destruction. We come not to lodge accusations, but to beg your wisdom. And so, distressing though the exercise may be, I ask that you share with us your opinion on the matter, on the assumption that our visitor's tale is true.
Even you, Vana. As you say, the phenomena observed in the two calamities may both be attributed to dynamis. Of note is the difference in its effect. In the first final days, it warped creation magics. In the second, it warped the people themselves. The key variable, I suspect, is the etheric density of the men of each age. As you know, ether, in essence, negates dynamis. Harboring high concentrations of ether, we ancients cannot readily manipulate dynamis, nor be manipulated by it. Therefore, rather than ourselves, the calamity affected our magics. In contrast, having been sundered, the people of the future are composed of but a fraction of our ether. Thus are they susceptible to the influence of dynamis and its transformative potential. But that would explain only the mechanism, not the cause. Though perhaps...
What is it? Even should it be a hypothesis, we would hear it.
Dynamis is an energy put in motion by feelings. Feelings for which there must first exist a source. A source to which the victims must be attuned. One that harbors the self-same negative emotions. Elsewise it could not be the agent of such extreme change.
So it wasn't the stagnation of the celestial currents. Someone, or something, is instigating the star's demise.
So, we've a villain on our hands after all. Any idea who or what it could be?
The celestial currents comprise the outermost layer of the star's ether, encasing it like a protective sphere. According to your tale, it was where the currents were weakest that the phenomena first manifested. If the inciting factor came from without Aetheris, then its effects would first be seen in those locations.
Hey, so is it the Mateuses?
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. I wish only to hear your words, share your feelings, know your thoughts. May we please be friends?
Meteion. What is it?
Executing scheduled task, suspending individual self and connecting to shared consciousness. Connection established. Commencing status report.
It hurts, it hurts! It hurts!
Hurts.
So hot, so cold, so sad. I don't understand. Make it stop. Please, make it stop.
Steady, Meteion. Steady.
So scared, so lonely. The pain, it's too much. Why? Why do we? They hurt.
Baby.
Hate! This is wrong! All wrong!
She's gone? But how?
She has altered her etheric density in order to blend in with her surroundings, an ability for avoiding confrontation.
Most effective. Frustratingly so. I can't see her either. Not even a trace.
Stay away. Please. This is wrong. My mistake. So please.
Are you all right? In your mind? No. We only heard her speak the instant before she vanished.
Of course. When communicating without words, Meteion also employs Dynamis. That would explain why you were able to hear her, when we could not.
Then you are our best chance of finding her. Follow her voice and try to track her down. Hindered though we may be, let us split up and search as well.
Calm your mind. Your sense is questing for any hint of Meteian's presence. But you fail to hear her voice. She must be elsewhere. Down there. This thing should be like down there somewhere. like such an obvious spot. They come to that. Calm your mind. Your sense is questing for any hint of Meteon's presence. Seeps into my mind, or voices reporting. No, no, Hermes mustn't hear them. I have to run, to hide. Meteon's anguished voice grows distant as the source seems to flee down the slope. Slope. Trying to catch even the faintest whisper, but fail to hear Meteon's voice. She must be elsewhere. There's something. Greetings and salutations. Commencing report. Oh no, we can't tell them that. We must run far away. Please, don't follow me. Meteon's anguished voice fades as you sense her climbing to the top of the ridge. Hide and seek at the end of the world. You go the long way around, don't they? There we go. Strain to catch even the faintest whisper, but fail to hear Meteon's voice. She must be elsewhere. Trying to catch even the faintest whisper, but fail to hear Meteon's voice. She must be elsewhere. How? How did it come to this? Is this the reason we traveled to the stars? Why we sought out other life forms? Life forms? Is this it? Is this the answer? No, it cannot be. It cannot be. Meteon's anguished voice drifts away to the south. Trying to catch even the faintest whisper, but fail to hear Medion's voice. She must be elsewhere. Filing report for dissemination to Hermes and all peoples of Aetheris. Processing expedition data, preparing profiles on intelligent civilizations. Formulating answers to the question. Finalizing report. No, Zilla, you mustn't listen. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Medion's anguished voice flees towards the lake. Any sign of Metion? Keeps running, panicked and confused, which will make it all the more difficult to predict her movements. Hermes, what do you make of this situation? Matei are linked to a single mind, a shared consciousness which connects them across any distance. I suspect something has happened which disrupted its usual harmony. How might we access this shared consciousness of theirs? Much as you would approach any sentient being directly. In the Mateus case, that means speaking to any incarnation within physical reach. So unless we can track down the Metion we just lost, we have no means to communicate with them. No way of knowing what befell her sisters, no way to provide directions or guidance. Then we had best set our musings aside and concentrate on how we might find her. Oh, my dear Metion, what did you witness out there that frightened you so? Why do you seek to keep it from us? How terrible could it possibly be? 87, words without sound.